Welcome to Xuanzang's Tower. I hope everybody's doing really well. I'm happy to be here with all of my friends who are interested in learning these great ideas from these amazing books. We're going to have a special program for you today, I believe. Geshe Michael decided that he wants to take this time to discuss with us a bit of the future, the upcoming year for Diamond Cutter Classics. And so he's going to describe some of what we've got going on and some future plans. Hey, boss. There he is. You're muted. He's just told us the meaning of life, I'm sure.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Nick, you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Hi. So when you get to my age, you have cataracts. Cataracts means your eyes get cloudy and everything has a white fuzz around it, and everyone looks much better actually. And then it starts to get out of hand, and then nowadays there's a new operation. They make a lens for your eye and they just cut open your eye and put it in, and that's the end of it. And it takes about 20 minutes. And it takes a day or two to heal, something like that. So I'm on my way to Kyoto, and I thought I would do it on the way. So I'm gonna go to San Diego tomorrow, have the surgery the next day, come back to Phoenix the next day, go down to Tucson for Thanksgiving with my grandkid for 1.5 days, wake up at 3 a.m., come back to Phoenix, go back to Kyoto. And then we'll be in Kyoto for about almost 3 weeks. And so in the next month or month and a half, oh, and then I do the second eye when I come back. And it's supposed to be fun. Only stupid people do the two eyes wide apart. And then you can't see anything for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or you look like you're drunk. So anyway, one eye works and the other one doesn't work. So anyway, or they're on different settings, and you tend to fall down a lot and stuff like that. So anyway, that's the only way I could get everything in. So we'll be missing a lot of Xuanzang Tower classes for the next 4 weeks because of the surgery and because we are two surgeries. And then we'll be in Kyoto, and the time zone's just too strange. And when I do short programs for people, so this is the way it works. The translators get about, in a good year, they get 150 classes. They get 3 classes a week for 52 weeks, something like that. Then, if stuff happens and I can't do a class, we do a team class. But so typically you're getting 150 classes a year. The major organizations like DCI, ACI, YSI, IR, DSEU, PEP, YLP, SLP. Seriously, they all, on a good program, they might get 4 days or 5 days. So they'll get 6 or 7 classes. So really the translator program takes up the most time. And I know we've missed classes lately, but that's the way it is because we have 12 active translators. So what I thought I would do is I would like to go over we're coming up on the 10th anniversary of this project. This project was proposed in 2017 or 16, late 16, early 17. I proposed it to a sponsor, and it was like 100-page document. And then we started in 2017, I believe, in January, we started classes, and we've been going since then. So I think I encourage very to
Sorry, folks, bear with us. We
Thought it was my
so
connection.
far
So
historically have always eventually figured it out. I think we have a perfect record of eventually handling this, and I suspect we will keep that record today if you're kindly patient with us.
somehow, Lindsay, your computer seems to be flowing smoothly. I don't know if you guys want to
It's true.
try that. Sounds like they're too busy trying to figure out the problem.
They look
Doesn't
busy.
think she can hear you.
I
Yeah.
agree. So how are
If anyone,
things?
if anyone's in the room with them,
Yeah.
you could let them know that their computer seems to be working well. Oh, he's logging back in. Okay. You could try just to see if
Okay.
yours is still going smooth, Lindsay.
Maybe he wants to share
Yeah.
things.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he does. Yeah. Hmm. Sp-
Here he is.
Here he is.
All right. I
Hi,
was about
sorry. Rimrock has advanced internet capacities. So, all right. I think I was just complaining about money and then it shut off. But anyway, so I thought for me, being so close to this program, this is probably my favorite program. I just really like to go over what we've done and what the plans are for the next 4 or 5 years. Okay. Because I'll be out for a month and, you can I'd like you to know what's going on and how we can progress. Okay. And I have Rosa and Lindsay with me, who, Rosa is running a Diamond Cutter Press and a bunch of other companies and making everything happen. And Lindsay, basically a big part of the sponsorship effort and the distribution. So they're gonna interrupt me whenever I say something wrong. Well, let me say a few things. And then so I'll start and then we'll be switching around between me and Rosa and Lindsay. Okay. And this is supposed to give you a overview of where we've come in the last 10 years. And I request that the mixed nuts directors, which is Nick and Ben, you figure out some big deal thing to do for 10th anniversary. Okay, that technically it's sometime in January. You might tie it to Chinese New Year's, which is the end of February, I think. And it's up to you guys. But it's you should never let an opportunity pass by that you could fundraise, because otherwise you can't eat. All right. Let me see. How's this go? It doesn't go up there. Come on. Bunny. Okay, it's
On that corner.
this one. Stay there. Okay, anyway, here we go. I'm going to go through translator by translator in alphabetical order, which is with them. And I'm going to tell you where we're at with each translator. And Lindsay and Rose are going to help me. If you have any ideas that I don't mention something, please feel free. Munsel, Destroying the Darkness. Daedon Yiki Munsel, which means Destroying the Darkness for the 7 great books of nowadays. He has already finished a volume called Door to Emptiness. Yeah. Can you see it, everybody? It's okay?
You want to be a camera?
Can they see it, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes,
Nick,
sir.
Can you see that?
Yeah, can see it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Actually, so Ben,
Yeah,
the
so
paragraph.
it's a big fat book.
Mhm.
What's
We'll
that?
fix
Can you
it.
see it okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay. And it's a big volume. I'm very happy with Adam's performance because he went with Juan Hasso, I think, to Kyoto on a G-Box grant. These are grants that are given for the translators to teach their book with an ACI teacher. And they went to Kyoto and they taught Adam's first book. And Adam's first book is an ancient logic debate textbook. And it's probably the most famous one. And he finished 1/3 of it. And he finished the top. We wanted to finish the part about Shedar because that's extremely helpful for seeing emptiness. It's probably the most important thing you can do to see emptiness. So what's going on, you guys?
And it's also available in ebook.
It's also available in ebook, okay? And so we finished that part, and then we switched over to a book by Kedubje, which is it's a book about ancient Buddhist clear thinking logic, and it's a presentation of the 7 books of who? Dharmakirti, Master Dharmakirti. Okay, and we're about. I predict that book will take 4 volumes. So he's working basically on 7 volumes. He's in the middle of 7 volumes. He's in the 2nd volume of 7. And that's going to take I call it way out, right? It's going to take quite some time, okay? And the longer projects that we're working on are 50-year projects, 60-year projects, okay? But his project, I think his next volume will be ready in maybe a year or 2 years, something like that, okay? You okay? We okay? All right. Next in order is, so basically Adam has a ways to go before his next volume comes out. His first volume's available, and he's been teaching it once a week online, and I'm very happy with that. And that's very cool. And I heard a lot of good things about his classes, okay? We took him to Kyoto and Juan, and they did a good job. And I would like to take each of the translators to Kyoto. This year, we're taking Ben Kramer and his wife, Kendra, and their son, Ezra. Nick and Aaron heard about it and said, next year I have to take them and Amelie. But anyway, so anyway, Ben and Kendra will be coming to Kyoto and doing some classes, teaching some classes in debate. And Ben, if there's anything you want to say about your classes, you're welcome to interrupt me.
I'm just thrilled to come. Thanks for the opportunity. It's going to be a lot of fun. And my hope is to reinvigorate the debate tradition in our community. And so I'm going to find ways to get back to poking people and being annoying the way we get we used to get to do to each other more often, and make lots of little parties where we can hang out and debate. So hopefully this is just the beginning of fun times ahead. Thank you so much for inviting me, boss. I'm really excited. We're all thrilled.
Yeah, cool. It'll be nice to have you there, and I'll show you around to all the coffee shops. And
Cool.
we call it record stores.
All right.
Okay, real stores. They got some good ones. All right. Yeah, his first book was Siddhanta. Here's the copy. It's called
Great Ideas of the East.
Great Ideas of the East. It's a major study, very, very famous ancient study, Central Asian study of all the schools of Buddhism. And I use it constantly. I use it all the time to keep the different schools straight. It covers all the schools of Buddhism, and it covers the major schools that led into Buddhism. And it's very well done. I use it all the time. I haven't found any mistakes in it, which is kind of amazing. And it's very, very helpful. Siddhanta, study of all the ancient schools. Then we moved on to Geshe Wangchuk. Geshe Wangchuk is a modern scholar. He was the teacher of my teacher. He spent, I think, 15 years working on a commentary to Dharmakirti. And what happened was, every time I have a question come up in Buddhist logic or perceptual theory, clear thinking, every time I search the database to find the explanation of one of the very recondite verses of Dharmakirti, his famous book, Pramanavartika, the commentary on, what are we calling it nowadays? Accurate perception, is extremely difficult. The verses are impossible. You can't possibly read it without a commentary. And there is no word by word commentary. And then Geshe Wangchuk understood that, and he wrote one. And I helped edit it. It's 4 volumes. It's in the native language, which would mean 10 volumes in English, or about 4,000 pages, okay? And it's a huge undertaking, and it's very, very important, okay? It's the foundation of all attempts to see emptiness. You have to be founded in clear thinking. So anyway, Ben's, there was a structural problem in the book. Oftentimes at the beginning of a book, for example, the famous Abhidhammakosha commentary by Gen Drew, which I worked on for 12 years with my teacher, the first 100 pages are debate about things you haven't learned yet. And it's just common. It's a common style of writing where you debate for 100 pages something the student has no idea what you're talking about because you haven't gone through the book yet. The debate should be at the end of the book, but for some reason they think the student's going to get inspired if they put the debate at the beginning, but actually the student just get confused. So anyway, we struggled through quite a bit of that debate section. And then finally, we just gave up and went to the word by word commentary. And my proposal, Ben, which you know, is we work on that for a while, and then we'll be able to go back and do otherwise we're wasting our time on the debate with no information part. Okay. And anyway, it's a lot of work. Maybe by October of next year, we could come out with the first volume of 10 volumes. Okay. I don't like to publish books volume by volume because sometimes in the 9th volume, you find some information that clears up the first volume. But in that case, Ben's book wouldn't come out for 100 years. And and then it won't help anybody. So I think we're sort of forced, as a project, we're forced to put out books that are like 95% accurate, and we'll have to clean them up at 20 years from now or 30 years from now. But I can't see making people wait till then. Okay. Anyway, I'm happy with the progress on it. I'm happy that we went to the actual commentary part. And we'll see, we have to see how we go back to the pages that we skipped. I'm not sure how we do that. We have a translator called Mr. Blue. He's working on a famous sutra called Vimalakirti. This is a very, very humorous. It's the most funny sutra of all the sutras. And it's about a businessman, a young brash businessman, right, Mr. Blue, who meets one by one the disciples of the Buddha and out debates them and shames them. And he's very funny and he's very clever and he has a very vast understanding of emptiness. So in the end, this kind of funny story ends up being a story about emptiness. Okay, we just hit a section which is very Diamond Way, and so we're enjoying some Diamond Way teachings inside of that book also. Okay, I see that book is going to take 2 volumes. We're actually in a place where in 2026, I almost said 1926. In 2026, we could come out, we could complete the first volume. Okay, it is possible, and it would stand alone. It would stand on its own. Okay, and then the second volume maybe 5 years later, something like that. Mr. Blue has already finished, I think, 2 or 3 books, so I'm kind of feel I need to encourage each translator. I need to kind of equalize the opportunities to come out with a book, you know. So I might push other people ahead of someone who's already got a couple books out, just so nobody gets discouraged. Okay, so I might do that. I want you to know why I push a certain book out first and I hold back another book. Okay, one of the things is I want to encourage each translator. I want each translator to have equal number of books finished as far as we can. And then they feel encouraged to teach their book and things like that.
Well, all the kinds of karma.
Yeah, there's
And the 2 sutras.
Mr. Blue's first book, All the Kinds of Karma. Then the 2 sutras of the Medicine Buddha. All the Kinds of Karma is a sutra. And it is Lord Buddha's explanation of all the different types of karma. And specifically correlations. Do this, get this, do this, get this. It's a huge book about do this, get this. And it's an interesting book because we illustrated it from carvings in stone in Indonesia done about 700 years ago or something. We found them and we had drawings made from them. So there are amazing pictures. And the format of the picture is very interesting. There's a long panel about, you can say 10 meters long and about 3 or 4 meters high. And there's always 2 scenes and there's a palm tree separating them in the carving. And it means cause and effect. Do this, get this. So one side of the palm tree is, you know, a bad action normally, sometimes a good action. And then the other side of the palm tree is a karmic result of that action. And then the flow went backwards. The flow went right to left. And it took us a long time to figure it out that the cause was on the right side and the result on the left side. And then we figured out that it's because those carvings are on a pyramid that people were meant to circumambulate, which means they would see the right side of the panel before the left side of the panel on foot. You see what I mean? So it's kind of cool. We figured it out. All right. Gibson's been having a good time. He finished Song of My Spiritual Life. And this is a special format that I invented like 30 years ago. And I had this vision of a small, of a a whole series of smaller books, pocket books, that you could put in your purse and you could carry around. And I called them Classics of Middle Asia. I borrowed the format from Penguin Classics, as you know. This is called Echo in advertising.
It's up there.
You make it look like somebody else's. So anyway, to me, it is the classics of the East. It's the equivalent of the Penguin Classics. So we started to put out this series of pocket books because I thought people could carry them around and use them day to day, like take them on the bus to work and things like that. My teacher and I were in North India in the late 90s on a terrible bus ride, like a 24-hour bus ride. The seats are wooden. And they crushed them together so you can get a video screen in there. And they blare Hindi movies for 24 hours, very loud. And it was suffering, it was incredible suffering. And we finally had a rest break to have coconut juice, which gives you diarrhea, which makes the ride even better. And this guy came up to us, backpacker, and he said, "Oh my God, this is Geshe Michael Roach." And he pulled out one of these classics, pulled it. He had it wrapped up in cloth, and he had read it so much it was falling apart, and all the pages were loose. And he said, "This book saved my life, and now I'm on the same bus ride with you, And that's how I imagined this series. Okay, so Gibson has put out, I think it's the first mixed nuts book
On that format, yeah.
in this format. Yeah, and I would like to keep both formats going. The smaller format for books that are small enough to carry around in your purse, and then the larger format. Okay, so he has another book finished. We call it In the Can. It's the Praise of Interdependence, Praise of Dependence. One of Tsongkhapa's most famous books on dependent origination, and that's done. We could put that out in 26, okay, but probably late 26. Again, about just so you understand my strategy. He just put out a book. It was extremely popular, and we used it for preparation for Diamond Way teachings.
Bestseller.
Yeah, Song of My Spiritual Life. And so he got famous for a while. And I'm going to wait till that book slows down and then make him famous again. You see what I mean? So I probably won't work on that book immediately, okay? Like each translator should get famous separately, okay? Everybody should have a chance. He's working on a book on Chang'e, which is extremely important topic. And my prediction is don't hold your breath. Meaning he's 7% finished with the book, and it's going to be a while. It's a very difficult book, okay? But it's a very important book. In the Geshe course, you get an award if you memorize it. Then you memorize it, you stand up in front of 3,000 monks, you recite it, and then you get a block of Chinese tea or something. And, it's a big deal. Basically, the mind-only school, basically, how do we know a teaching is correct about emptiness, or it's just leading people up to a teaching about emptiness and it's wrong? And that comes from a famous question in the sutras, okay? Nick is working on Nick's working on his second book. The first book was 60 verses on emptiness. And is that what it's called? I don't remember.
No.
Yeah. Nothing
Nothing
is the way it seems. That's a great title. I try to give sexy titles to books because if you just say Nagarjuna's teaching on emptiness, it's half the people don't know who's Nagarjuna. So anyway, he's now halfway. So Nagarjuna wrote 2 famous letters to kings. And this was a genre in ancient times where a great philosopher would write a letter to a king of advice. And Nagarjuna wrote two such letters. The longer one, which I call the second one, is this, well, it's the one we're working on now, which is called Ratnamala, or the string of jewels, or something like that. And then Grandpa's been working on the other letter, the first letter, which is called Letter for a Friend. And there's a commentary to that letter by Jetsun Rendawa, who was Tsongkhapa's teacher. And Jetsun Rendawa basically designed the Geshe course. And so I met this commentary long ago. I helped edit a translation of it 40 years ago. And I thought it's time, now that we have better research tools, a lot of the first version we did, we couldn't look up things. Couldn't look up the story about the Ruru deer, and me and the editor were working on it yesterday. But now we have the capacity to do that. So we redid the book. The first letter to a king is done as of yesterday, I think. And we'll be able to publish it in 26, inshallah, God willing. And then next volume, I think it's going to have to be split into 2 volumes. Yeah. Otherwise, there'd be 700-800 pages. So we can probably do the first volume in 27, something like that. Okay. And then we'd like to do a third letter of advice to a king, which is by a Buddhist scholar named Nagasena. And that's called Milinda Panha in Pali, and Minendra Panjika in Sanskrit. And it means questions of King Minendra, whose name was corrupted to Melinda. And Minendra is a Greek name, Menander. And he was one of the great kings left behind by Alexander the Great in 325 BC, something like that, in West India. Okay. So I think those 3 books of advice to kings are unique because they are unique in our project, because they were written for lay people. They were not written for monks and nuns. They were meant for political leaders, business leaders. And I think it'd be cool to do a book of business strategy from those 3. So we're talking about doing that. Yeah. The Menendra Paha. Technically, it's probably Hinayana. But it's the most famous source for the teaching of emptiness based on the parts of a cart, which would be the parts of an automobile in our time. And from that point of view, I would say it's like almost Mahayana, something like that. Yeah. The emptiness teaching is the emptiness teaching in it is very Mahayana. Yeah. Seiji Arao Takahashi is working on he finished a book, which you can use came out yesterday. A new version came out yesterday. I don't know.
A month ago.
Yeah,
a month ago.
for higher tier book club subscribers, we'll get this book soon.
Yeah, and so Rosa pushes books out, and then Lindsay gets copies. The first copies go to big sponsors, people who are willing to sponsor this effort in a serious way. And we encourage them to get a red lacquer box, which were designed and created here in the capital of the world, Rimrock, by Mark Salustro, did the woodwork. And I brought 4 of them over today for class, and they're very convenient. You just pick them up and run out the door and spill books all down the path. But then you can stack them on top of each other, and it makes a very attractive sh shelf in your house. You know, I used to spread the books all over my desks, and now I have them in a very. My wife is very grateful to Lindsay and Rosa because it's a stack. We have a stack of 4 red boxes. They have little rubber
Yeah, they're stuck
legs underneath, and they stack very easily, and they save room in your house. And then you can have all of the classics of Buddhism in a tiny space in your house, you know, because it's vertical. And it's very, very cool. And it's a wonderful way to honor sponsors, major sponsors. So that's something that Lindsay and Rosa have worked on. And it's very successful and very helpful. And Lindsay has last year raised 1/4 of the salaries through this kind of marketing. So I'd like to thank her. That's almost $250,000 that she has raised. And she does it in her free time in the garage, because that's the only place that hasn't caught on fire yet. Okay, just kidding. Seiji is pretty well through Bodhisattvacharya Avatara Master Shantideva's famous book on how to live a Bodhisattva's way of life. And he's doing very well. I've been working for 14 years on a book called The Devil Debates an Angel. And it's a very important book about emptiness. And we finished it. It's 600 verses. It'll be about 400 pages. And I thought it needs a commentary. I thought parts of it need a commentary. And there is no commentary. No one's ever written a commentary to it. So I started writing a commentary to it in English. And I'm halfway done now, I think. Something like that. And I would like to do the same for Seiji's book. There's no modern meaning in the last 1,000 years. There's no, to me, comprehensive commentary to the Bodhisattva's way of life. There is a commentary by Gyaltsab Je. I think he was in a rush or something, or some kind of extenuating circumstances, but it's not so helpful. And I think there needs to be something more comprehensive. So I'd like to do what I call a light commentary. Light commentary means the one that we're using for The Devil Debates the Angel. It's just like a conversational commentary. It's not a scholarly commentary. It doesn't have huge footnotes and, you know, ancient words in it and things like that. It's just a straightforward explanation, as if you were sitting with a friend. And I think that's sufficient. And I think it's more fits Shantideva's style. So that's my hope for that book when we get there. I would say maybe in 2028, something like that. It's a ways out. We're going through the root text slowly because we want to cover the Sanskrit. It's one of the only books we have that's a perfect book for learning Sanskrit. So those weird people in our group who want to study with Christina Kasika and pick up some Sanskrit, you're very welcome to come to her classes. Starting in January? January. Okay. All right. And it's a good introduction to Sanskrit. And his book is one of the easiest books to learn Sanskrit from. You can memorize some verses and you can quickly learn Sanskrit. He's a very standard Sanskrit, very, very standard and good vocabulary. Okay. All right. Stanley and Xiaoping were very patient. They were the last of the first 11 translators. Originally, we had 11 translators, 10. We added Seiji, 11. We added Tim. So now we have 12 translators. And Stanley and Xiaoping worked for 8 or 9 years on their book. Stanley finished the first and probably most important chapter of Abhidhammakosha. This was Buddhism in this world for 700 years. after Lord Buddha passed away, until Nagarjuna 200 AD. This book was all of Buddhism. That's all, the only Buddhism there was in this world was Abhidharmakosha. And so Stanley finished the first chapter, very famous. We titled it
Everything in the universe.
Everything in the Universe. And that's a perfect title. It's exactly what the chapter is about. And it's a very sweet, it's a debate style, difficult to translate, but it's a good job. It's well done. And then Xiaoping finished The Essence of the Ocean. And as I've mentioned recently, then this covers vow morality. It covers the different types of vow morality. And most importantly, it covers the monks' vows and the nuns' vows. The full nuns' vows, 364 vows, are missing. They were missing. They were destroyed due to a political thing like 1300 years ago in Central Asia. They were destroyed. And we reconstructed them. We went to the original sources, the Vinaya Sutra and the Vinaya Sutras of the Buddha. The Vinaya Sutra is not a Buddha sutra. And we reconstructed the vows correctly. And it took a lot of work. It was an immense amount of work. And we found, I don't know, 40,000 pages of commentaries. And we used them to finish this translation. It took 8 years. And strangely, they came out at the same time. They were patient. They were the last translators to put out their first book. And those come out in Kyoto, I think.
Yeah, so if you're part of the book club or you sign up for the book club, these are the next 2 books you're gonna get. So yeah. Very exciting. And we'll have them in Kyoto to pick up if you're there in person.
Yeah, we're all taking suitcases to Kyoto full of this book. I like to call these 2 books together, I like to call them the first half of Buddhism. You know, I like to market it as the first half of Buddhism. I think Xiaoping sent me a picture of the box that they are proposing for the 2 books. Did you send that? Is Xiaoping here? It's on my email? Oh, man. Can you send it to one of these guys? And they'll show it? Okay. There's a very attractive book. Those 2 books belong together. Those 2 people belong together. And it's very romantic that the 2 greatest classics of original Buddhism have been completed at the same moment by these 2 people after 8 years of work. And those 2 books are extremely important. I can't tell you how important it is. I can sit here and tell you, you don't really understand. But in the world, the most important thing that happened last year was these 2 books came out together, and extremely important for Buddhism. Okay. All right. And by the way, Aisha's sitting here, and she's been working on finding the Sanskrit versions, and she found the Sanskrit versions for both of these books, most of it. And we used it a lot. We used Yashomitra's commentary to the Abhidharmakosha, 2-volume, huge commentary in Sanskrit. And she recovered that. And she also recovered a birch bark manuscript from Afghanistan for the 2 Medicine Buddha Sutras we translated. So these are amazing work, and we should give her a hand. Keep going, keep going. Stanley's now working on a book called Abhidharma Samuchaya. So the half-brother of Vasubandhu, which is Master Arya Sangha. He improved on his brother's presentation of Abhidharma. He did a super duper Abhidharma, a mind-only Abhidharma, and that's called Abhidharma Samuchaya. It's very long and it's very difficult. We chose to start the Samuchaya and leave the kosha temporarily because we have a dream of recovering all the books in Dunhuang. So there are about 50,000 manuscripts have been recovered from the Gobi Desert, from 600 meditation caves in the Gobi Desert. We've been there a lot. In fact, we were offered a retreat center there for free. We're still deciding what to do about it. But you know, we're trying to save the books that were found there and translate them. So the Abhidharma Samuccaya is the first one that we're working on. Those were found in caves. They were probably put there 1400 years ago. And one cave was sealed up, and then the seal was broken in 100 years ago exactly. And we were using those manuscripts, and we want to recover them. They were stolen by military expedition forces disguised as archaeological digs by the British, the French, the Americans, somebody else. But anyway, so they're spread out all through these Russians. They're spread out through those libraries, and they're difficult to get copies. And we're trying to bring them all together through the ALL project and recover all those manuscripts. So this is the first one. Long way to go. The first volume at best in 2028. Okay. It's long and it's difficult, very difficult. Okay. But it's worth it. Okay. I'm still going. You guys got to stop me if I can go to 9:15, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then we have Juan Hasso, who's writing the news right now. Hi. So Gang Shi, his wife Shinten Shi, her mom had a stroke last night, a serious stroke. So if you can add her to your prayers, her mom is, she's not doing too well in Indonesia. Okay. So if you can do prayers for Shintian's mom. Sugang finished, what's it called?
Stopping the circle.
Stopping the Circle of Sadness. He finished a very famous debate textbook on the Wheel of Life, on the 12 links of the Wheel of Life. It's very, very, very important topic. And he finished a very challenging and accurate presentation of the Wheel of Life. And then we found an ancient manuscript by Vasubandhu, Master Vasubandhu. And it was very exciting because it treats the Wheel of Life, but it goes into the mind-only version of the Wheel of Life. And so Vasubandhu is famous for writing the Abhidhamma Kosha. He wrote it as a summary of a school that was dying. And his brother, his half-brother, Asanga, encouraged him to write the Abhidhamma Kosha. He said, this school's going to die in our lifetime. And it deserves to die. But somebody should record its teachings, which were Buddhism for 700 years. So Vasubandhu got stuck with writing the Abhidhamma Kosha. He's famous for writing the Abhidhamma Kosha. He didn't want to write the Abhidhamma Kosha. And the Abhidhamma Kosha is the least accurate of all the schools of Buddhism. So it's very, very exciting that we found a manuscript by Vasubandhu in which he shows his true colors. And he comes out of the closet as a mind-only scholar. So he interprets the Wheel of Life from the mind-only point of view. And it's stunning. The commentary is stunning. And it has major, we call technical problems. There's no commentary ever. No one ever wrote an explanation of it. And the translation is corrupt. The translation has major problems. This translation from Sanskrit into Tibetan has major problems. And the Sanskrit is missing forever. No one's ever found the Sanskrit. So it's a very interesting project. Sugang's second book, we are translating a corrupt text of one of the greatest Buddhists of all time coming out of the closet as a mind-only guy. So it's who could pass it up? But it's a tremendous amount of work to figure out what the manuscript was meant to say. And we have no help in history. No one in history has tried to do what we're trying to do. So it's a very big challenge, but it's very cool also. And I think we have the skills to do it. And I don't think anyone else is ever going to have the skills in in the next few hundred years or something. So I think it's exciting. At best, volume 1 in 2028. Okay. Tim's book, as you've probably heard, is 56-year project. It's an 8-volume lower middle way explanation, Prajnaparamita explanation of emptiness, basically. And it covers Maitreya's Jewel of Realizations. And we have a handwritten copy, basically, lithograph, printed on a boulder in North India. And it's bad. It's a really bad copy. I saw one original carving in St. Petersburg. And I cataloged it and I got permission to copy it. And then, it turned out we couldn't finish the work there. We did 141,000 books catalog, but we weren't allowed to take a copy of this book. So I'm still working with them. I'm still trying to get a copy. Contractually, we have permission for a copy. But, given the war and everything, it's quite difficult. I was invited to St. Petersburg last week to give keynote talk at a conference. And I'm thinking to go get myself blown up just to get the book maybe. But my wife's not too excited about that idea. So we can translate what we have. We can do a 99% job, but it's kind of frustrating. And we're still seeing if a copy surfaces in Mongolia. Anyway, first volume in 2027. It'll be a very beautiful volume because it's one of the only sutra or non-tantric works which discusses tantra. And we're in that part now. And it's very, very enlightening. And so I'm very excited to get that first volume out. So I'd say 27, okay, for the first volume. It's gonna be, I don't know, many volumes. All right. Venerable Upala Betts Greer. What do you say? We're about 15% done with her second book. First book was Emptiness Meditations. And I think I can say, Rosa's going to go through. You want to pause here and go through who's the best seller so far? Just so the translators can get jealous of each other.
Good strategy. Emptiness Meditations by far is the number one bestseller. No, because I'm not connected. Oh, okay. I had to disconnect because we were losing. All right. So Emptiness Meditation.
Even if I can't, you can't show that on the screen?
She's not.
I'm not connected. Yeah, I had to disconnect. We will continue.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Do you want to continue and then I can set up and jump?
You set it up. Maybe Chloe can help you.
Okay.
All right. You set it up. Tell me when you guys are ready to show her screen on the screen. Okay. On the Zoom screen. Okay. So Utpala is, it's huge and it's difficult. And it's very, very famous. The work that she's working on. It's a very famous second book on emptiness. Her first book on emptiness is the most popular mixed nuts book. Okay.
Both in ebook and printed.
Both in ebook and printed. I had a discussion with Princeton University Press. I said, these things are burning up the market. They're selling like hotcakes. And they said, well, how many copies? I said, God, we got 100 copies out. And they're like, call you later. Yeah, I'm still working on it. But it's not bad for this kind of material. Anyway, she's got a long way to go. Not sooner than 2028. Okay, but she should be happy because she's got the #1 best-selling book so far. Okay, of all the translators. And I have some dream of, I have a small series in mind that I'd like Utpala to edit. But I'll be talking to Utpala later about that. Okay, Wordsmith finished his first book called The Golden Key. We attacked a book by Tsongkhapa, a presentation of the Mind-Only School, the most famous commentary on the Mind-Only School. We attacked it originally, and it beat us. And we retreated to an easier version by a scholar, a Tibetan scholar from like 300 years ago. It's a, you know, what do you call it? It's a commentary to Tsongkhapa's mind-only teaching. Tsongkhapa wrote his own commentary to his mind-only teaching, which is extremely difficult. So we went through the easier commentary first. We published it. It's very beautiful volume. I gave it to a friend. I have a friend from Princeton that I met for the first time in 50 years recently, and he's a mind-only freak. And I said, I got a mind-only book for you. And he read this book and he said it's the best mind-only commentary he ever saw. And he's been working on mind-only for 50 years or something. And so I think Word did a great job. We are very close to finishing Tsongkhapa's original work on mind-only. Okay, I think we have 2 pages left to do. So I think by the end of 2026, we can have the sister volume to this one, and they go together. They are Tsongkhapa's commentary and a commentary on Tsongkhapa. And we have a wonderful biography of the author of this commentary, of the Golden Key. And we found out a lot of information. We worked very hard in the mixed nuts to find out about the life of the author. So I would say the biographies of authors in these books, in the introductions, are almost as valuable as the translations. And we did huge amount of research. Like we just finished the biography of Rendawa, Tsongkhapa's teacher. We checked 730 scriptures to put the biography together. Okay, and it's amazing. It's a wonderful biography. Okay. All right. Xiaoping, can you read that? What's it say? A long time. So we finished. We recovered the nuns' vows. We published them with the monks' vows. By the way, it's not as boring as you might think. You know, the exciting story of why nuns are not allowed to have monks help them tie their spice bags together. If you want to know what that means, you have to read the commentary. Okay. So anyway, we cracked the code. We did all the nuns' vows. It was very difficult, and we did it. And now, every time I search the Vinaya for something, and we have input maybe 50,000 pages of Vinaya. Every time I search those 50,000 pages to get an answer to what's it mean to not allow nuns to tie their spice bags, you know, every time I have a question and I search the database, I hit the same guy. There's some unknown guy who is unbelievable Vinaya author. His name is Lodri Leksang, probably from 300-400 years ago. We don't know a lot about him, but his commentary on the vows is better than anything I've ever seen. And it's long. It's going to take 20 years or something, okay? So maybe the first book will be out in 28. That's her easy book, which was extremely difficult and very, very difficult, but it's correct. It's accurate. And it took many hundreds and hundreds of hours of research to figure out the vows. And it's correct. And I feel really good about it. And it works out mathematically, which is also very unusual. Okay, Rosa's going to tell you something about which books are hitting a nerve among our massive audience. Okay. Ready?
You want printed or ebooks first?
Yeah, let's do ebooks first. So the process that we have is a little bit different. We do have the subscription programs, which we tend to prioritize first because that is the program that runs the Good Night Book Club. And so we prioritize those. Which runs the salaries for the translators. So this is a real priority for us. So we do a special edition for that first. And then, but we try to, at the same time, do the ebook for the press so that people have it available in electronic, digital.
Yep.
Can you stop screen sharing and then I think
Yeah.
let me screen share. Yeah. People can't see the.
I'm sorry.
No, you
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is very quick. I just run some quick numbers last night. And so are we there?
Who you can share your screen, right?
I'm not, I can't connect.
No, I mean, Lindsay can share.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
online is going well.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Online is good? Oh, okay. Got it. So let me see. Yeah. So ebooks basically is a real success for this.
Ebooks right now?
Yeah. For this kind of project, it's very successful because 4 out of our 5 bestsellers are from the Diamond Cutter Classics. So the bestseller is number 1 is Emptiness Meditation. Number 2, All the Kinds of Karma. Number 3, A Door to Emptiness. Yeah, Adam's book, actually. Yeah, I had the wrong cover. And then the Golden Key. And then, we have The King of Dharma, which is, our ongoing bestseller forever.
By the way, Rosa found a good programming company in India. She established the goodest relationship with them. I went there, we negotiated with them. And they do a lot of they created a separate app for our books. And you can get the app, you can get all the books, and it's on your phone. And that's all Rosa. We should give her a hand.
So most of the books are available in ebook form. We're slightly behind the subscription, and that's on purpose. So, but you'll get there if you're an ebook fan. You'll get it. We're working on it. By next year, I think we'll caught up with whatever is in the subscription. It's going to be also available in ebook.
Let me clarify that. You can wait for a year or 2 to get the book that's going to save your life, or you can subscribe. You can be one of our subscribers, which means you make a tiny donation every month to the salaries of the mixed nuts, and then you get the books as soon as they come out. You get them before they come out, so the subscribers get copies of the books hot off the press, even before the final corrections are made. You get these books, and really one of the reasons I'm talking about this today is we need the funding. We need help. Okay, if you're listening and you enjoy these classes, or even you hate these classes, we need help. It's expensive. I want to say something about the salaries that we pay. In general, translators of ancient literature are underpaid throughout the universe. They get paid nothing. And every time a job comes up in a university to teach ancient books, 200 scholars will struggle over a $20,000 a year job, which is much less than my gardener makes. Half the salary that my gardener makes is a typical salary for a translator in this world, in the university world. So my goal was to give our translators a living wage, enough money to support their children. And so I know the translators and the workers on it probably think they're underpaid, and they are. Compared to the standard in the United States, they are overpaid by double. but it's still not enough to live on. You see, it's still less than a garbage worker makes. It's still it's not enough. So we pay well in the world of translators, and that's not enough to survive on. But at least let's make sure they get that. Okay, at least help me. I can't sustain it myself. I can't. I do all kinds of weird things. Somebody asked if I would do a striptease in Central Asia. I'd say if you give me 10,000 for the program, I'll show my socks. Or I do weird stuff like this every single day, and it's exhausting, and I can't keep it up forever. So this subscription program of Lindsay's is extremely successful, and she has really worked hard on it. She has a full-time job. She gets a real salary from her full-time real estate job, and she doesn't need this job. But she's been very kind, and she has spent her effort to do it. And so please consider becoming a subscriber. It's not a lot of money. And they'll get a new one.
Stanley Chopin's book.
Sell it. Go.
Oh, yeah. So it's $1 a day. It's $30 a month to start receiving books. And then we have more tiers, so you can get more books if you're seeing books here that you're like, I haven't gotten that one yet. They're available. And then the other really cool thing that's super popular is Geshe sends out a email update very regularly, most days a week, that has his current and progress translation, and then a little update about what's going on with the Worldview orgs and his life. And that's something you can also add on to your book club subscription, and that goes directly to fund the salaries of the translators. So
cool. Thank you. So basically you get the latest books immediately from Lindsay's Garage, and it's like $1 a day. So come on, don't be a loser. Sign up your mom also. That's you, right?
Yeah.
Can I go back to Grandpa?
Yeah.
I still got 9 minutes before I get kicked out by Peachtree World News. Let me see here. Yeah. Some other things going on, okay, just for you guys to know about. When I finished my 3-year retreat with some other people, I think 3 other people finished with me 4. We debriefed. We had I think 2 or 3 weeks. We got a tape recorder and we sat together, and we all talked about our experience and things that we wanted future retreaters to know that were still fresh in our mind after a 3-year retreat. And so we didn't see anybody mostly for 3 weeks. We sat in a room and we recorded things to remember or things to think about for long-term retreat. So recently, Venerable Ellie compiled all those teachings. She cleaned them up. She put them in a proper order, in a coherent order. And she came out with a beautiful book called, what's it called? Some Advice for Deep Retreat or something like that. And
Wisdom of Solitude.
What's it called?
The Wisdom of Solitude.
Of Solitude, yeah. And it's a beautiful book. We'll be carrying it from Diamond Cutter Press. That was what I heard from Ellie. And if we'll be advertising it soon. Okay. Yeah. Some other books that we're working on: The Angel Devil 14-year project. I'm writing a small commentary, easy commentary. I call it a quick commentary, light commentary, without heavy footnotes, without bibliographies, just as if I was teaching it to you privately or something. So that's going very well. We're about halfway through the commentary. We finished Judson Randhawa's commentary on Nagarjuna, extremely valuable. And I did what do you call it? executive decision. I told him to shut up and put that first, next, because that book by itself will make a great book for all of you to teach your students. Okay, it is the mother of all Lam Rims historically in time order, by Tsongkhapa's teacher, and it is extraordinary. And it was written for a layperson. It was written for a businessman, a king, and it's extremely relevant to modern times. So I pushed it in front of everything else. And it's got Nagarjuna's quality of emptiness teachings on top of a very, very practical guide to normal life for normal people. And I think it's going to be one of the greatest books for teaching new students. And I encourage you all to look at it and learn to teach it. And you can use it for your new students, okay? This is an idea I had for Rosa, and I didn't tell her until right now sitting next to me. But, I was asked to edit my teachings from 3-year retreat for 400 pages of my teachings from 3-year retreat. And we had this dream. You have the little book. It's tied together with thread. During my 3-year retreat, friends of mine in Australia put out these books in Japanese style. And they were hand sewn by our students, and they're very popular. Each one is a separate teaching of a couple hundred pages. I think it's 4 days of teaching or something, each one. And I had this idea to put it into a grand single fat volume. And I'm almost done with it. And then I realized we should leave it as separate little books, because they are separate teachings. They are separate topics. Each one stands together by itself. So what I'd like to do, and she doesn't know yet, I propose that we put them out in the Classic of Middle Asia format. Yeah. And it'll be a 200-page book or so. It'll be about the same size as this one. And there'll be 4 books like that. And that's ready to go. We just need someone. I did the final editing, and we can start the first of those. We can start putting them out now. Okay, so that's up to Rosa and her team. Her team is Rosa and Rosa. Just kidding. Tsongkhapa wrote a massive comment. I got 3 minutes, Juan. Tsongkhapa wrote a massive commentary to Chandakirti. And it's 2,000 pages in English. I finished it. It took me 12 years. And I just need to clean it up. I will probably lay around in Phoenix for 6 weeks. When they do the kidney operation, I have to sit there for 6 weeks. And probably, judging from the hernia operation, I'll be able to work about 24 hours later. But just I have to stay in bed for a while. And then I have to stay near the hospital in case the kidney decides to go away. So I figure I can work on the book from Phoenix. It's not like I'll be laying in bed. I'll just be bored to death sitting in a chair, because I agreed to stay near the hospital for 6 weeks. And then I'll be running around. Probably within a year, I'll be able to travel and stuff normally. But it takes that long for your immune system to recover, something like that. Because they put this big thing in you that's not part of you. So, all right. And it's not a big deal. And it's a 99.9% success rate. And you can PP a lot better. Okay. Wisdom C, that's a big deal. That's going to take a long time. That's Tsongkhapa's commentary to wisdom, to Nagarjuna's wisdom. That's also 2,000 pages. I'm about halfway through. And that's it. And I'm on time. I got 2 minutes left. I'm very pleased with all the translators. May I say that in 8 or 9 years, well, 10 years as of next month, we haven't lost any translator. That's extremely rare in this business. You know, people tend to die or lose interest or get too tired to keep going. And and we're just, I don't know, we're so lucky. We're very, very lucky. The original sponsor, Mr. Blue, sponsored us for many years, and we got to thank him and all of his team for helping us to do this project. And now he's not able to continue. We have to carry it on our own. And that, again, that's $1 million a year. It's very, to give a not very exciting salary, it's about half of what the person is worth, in my opinion, or a third. But it's about all that you can raise in this business. You know, you don't have million sellers here, just 900,000 each. Just kidding. And I'll say one more thing. I got 1 minute. I think this project is the most important thing in the world right now. And I know almost nobody believes that. But I think when people look back in history, they will say this project was the most important thing happening in this world right now. I think of it as the only light in this world. You know, there's the sun, we have the sun, it lights up the world, and the world that it lights up is in total darkness right now. There's terrible wars, terrible stupidity, terrible chaos going on. And the only real light in this world is these classics, in my opinion. And so I think it's very important to keep it going. You got your picture. Did we get her picture? We got to show off. If you come to Kyoto, you're gonna get. It's in the chat.
Can you share your screen? Okay, Chloe will share it from her computer.
Okay. I just want you to see, these are the boxes that were designed for the two books, the Abhidharma Kosha book and the Vinaya book. And it's a beautiful match set that you can get in Kyoto to start with, right? All right. Also, last thing, okay? Grandpa's full of last things. I have a deal with some of our students from Asia that we will be opening a press in Singapore to put out all these books in modern Chinese. Okay, so these books exist in ancient Chinese, which very few Chinese people can read. And we have an agreement to start a company in Singapore to translate all these translations into modern Chinese, which means 1.5 billion people will be able to read them. And I think that may be the most important thing we did this year. Okay. All right. Thank you for listening. And again, it's because I'll be out with medical stuff for a month that we did this meeting today. And thank you, Adam. Thank you for being so patient and giving us your time. All right. We got Peachtree World News coming up.
Thank you so much, Geshe Michael. Thank you. We're so grateful for you. Please keep teaching us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening and being part of this team. Thank you for sticking with us for all these years. And for those of you who support us, we're very, very grateful. And of course, for everybody who comes and listens and participates, and our translators and all of our tech. We're just very lucky to have this incredible system of people helping us. There's Juan Hasso. Looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah. Today we have a very interesting activity. Very cool. Just while we set the tech up for that cool activity, I'm just going to show you really quickly Marina, cancel the videos. There is no time. But let's show the pictures super, super quickly. Super like one after the other before. No, wait, not that quickly. That is just, okay, celebration. The Peru and Colombia team. Yes, picture, please. Peru and Colombia team from Latin America. They just finished their tour. Very soon, they will be here with us talking about how their experience was. Next picture, please. We had a video, but no video today. Birthdays this week, Adriana Carabotsios. And next picture, please. Aisha Skufalos as well. They have their birthday. Happy birthday. And on Monday, there is a special birthday coming up. You will know it's a surprise. Monday, remember, upcoming birthday. Next picture. Oh, sorry. I don't know our new tech table person, but I'll show you here. Japan is coming up and you can very soon sign up. Sorry, very soon attend the place. Sign up, you have been able for a long while. Next picture, please. What? Yeah, Ben Kramer, remember, is going to be teaching with Kendra over there. Debate is going to be very cool. I'm hoping to catch them there. SCA sessions as well 2 days before the event. And finally, next picture. Next picture. Yes, we have the 3 Jules people graduating from their teacher training. And we have Hector Marcel as well. There is a camera. You can see the studio and everything is set up. Thank you, Geshe, for being here with us. Yeah. So apparently, we have this. Where is Hector Marcel? They just finished their famous now yearly meditation training. Thank you so much. And now Geshe was talking about how important this wisdom, the ancient wisdom that we are learning and it's being translated, is affecting the world. And to me, this is one of the examples of how eventually this wisdom reaches everywhere, including this small town called New York. New York, right? Yeah. So, and so is Hector here with us? Where? Okay, beautiful.
If I turn on the thing, will you get feedback? Hello, Geshe, and thank you, Juan.
He's here.
It's so nice to see you. Here's the crew behind me. We're graduating. And you're up there, and the international people are on our Zoom, and I've got no idea how many people you have in your Zoom. But hello, Geshe, welcome. Can you please give us some insight, some words of wisdom for the 70 new meditation teachers to be?
I'll say 2 sentences. And that's that this world needs meditators. And there's so many confused people teaching meditation in a confused way. And it's really, really to have meditation teachers who know how to teach. And I'm very, very glad that you put out the effort, Hector, and all your team. It's so difficult to teach meditation teachers, and it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of time. And I just really appreciate your hard work. I know you're busy at Harvard Business School normally, but the fact he taught at Harvard Business School last month. But I'm very, very grateful. And I look forward to new meditation teachers flowing out of New York. And I'll even have a coffee with you guys. And thank you. Thank you for teaching meditation teachers. Thank you for producing them. If we can help each year with that effort, we'd like to support it. Okay. Thank you, guys.
We cannot hear him, but we trust. We cannot hear you, Hector, but we trust you're saying very beautiful things. So sending best regards. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, come and visit sometime. Bring your students. Okay, thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Hector, so much. And congratulations, everybody over there graduating. Remember, it's not only enough to have the certificate, you actually have to meditate and teach. Okay, so now actually that we have time, maybe we can go a little back and show the videos, because there is another very exciting news that Tim Lowenhub, as you know, he's traveling the world these days. He actually went to Taiwan before he's going to the event in Japan. But then he sent me this morning very exciting news. As you know, the Taiwan team has been supporting Mexico for a little while, for actually a long time while. And by now it has been 10 years. And then Tim shared with me that this project of the Happy Can, that maybe some of you know, is like people save basically their change. How do you call it? The piggy bag or something. They put the money there and they have raised over 10 years, $1 million that they have used to support the Mexican community, including what should I say? Start mirroring? Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So we want to show this video. It's just a short video. It's the last minute news that I received this morning. About the 10th-year anniversary of the Happy Can. They reached this 1 million, mark, and they made like a orchestra video symphony while honoring all the projects that this $1 million have been destined for in the last 10 years. So let's watch the short video, and I hope soon we can really talk in depth about it. I think the music was like that because they were hoping to be 10,000 million. But anyways, not just kidding. Just kidding. It's very cool that this happened. And just so you know, they are helping the migrants. Yeah, in Mexico, they are helping Casa Huichol. They're helping the Spanish translation program. Probably Aldo's salary for the new baby as well. And yeah, thank you so much for... Nila, yes. Thank you so much for all the support, Taiwan. And thank you as well for the new project, Casa Tartug, because thanks to them, part of it, thanks to them, the place was possible. All right. And finally, I wanted to show you also the other video that we didn't show, but now we can, about the trip to Peru that Lucia and Sofia just finished a few days ago. They developed like yesterday during a Sky Talk. I was talking about this idea of the circle day, which is you take a special day for your inner self-development. Once a month was the recommendation. And then what they did is pretty much that. They built a space where people could spend the whole day learning about ancient wisdom and how to apply it in their daily life. So let me show you one of the events they had in Peru, and soon they'll be with us to hear about it. Okay, there you go. So congratulations. And yeah, to me, it was very beautiful when I talked to Lucia. She told me about the different adventures or experiences that they had in Peru. And it was really, really touching. I really hope they can come soon and share with all of us about it. As well, Aldo and Paulina just finished their trip to Colombia. There was another trip with Hector and Alex Rivas to Costa Rica a few months ago, and another one to Paraguay with Rosalia and Barbara and Enrique from Paraguay and Mexico. So thank you very much. That's it for today. Thank you, Geshe, for sharing. Thank you for the care. Thank you for the love. And we wish you all the best for the surgery and everything. See you in Kyoto. Oh, by the way, okay, fine. It's not. But no, just to say, you start your travels on Sunday, correct? Tomorrow. Okay, so see you back in Arizona if everything goes well on December 17th. Okay, but hopefully before in Kyoto. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, translators. Thank you, translators. I mean, the DCC team, and translators, the speaking people who tried to catch up with me. Apologize. And okay, see you. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.